Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a new month and welcome to a new year. It is January 1st, 2024. Pretty monumental moment in pretty much anyone's life because even though it's just another day on the calendar, is something special that comes from a year flipping over. So the Seahawks season is not yet concluded. We've got one more game to play. We could get lucky. We could hit the jackpot this week and make the playoffs and then have at least one more game to play after that. But either way, as we move into this new year, I think there's a lot of desire on the part of this fan base for some amount of change. In fact, I think it would be safe to say that literally every single Seahawks fan out there, every single one wants some element of change with this team from the way that it was this year. Some people might want a new head coach, some people might want new coordinators, some people might want new players, some people might want a new owner, whatever. You want something to change, even if it's as small as the special teamers, even if it's as small as something like the special teams gunner. So, as we move into this new year, there's some belief that there could be that change. And obviously, our season in terms of intrigue kind of ended yesterday, if we're being real here, in terms of this team actually being really good and making any kind of a run that makes this season meaningful. Like, that's kind of gone out the door. But we still got games to play. We still got stuff to do. So I'm not going to act like the end of the year means the end of the season. But you got to admit, the door felt like it closed shut pretty tightly yesterday with the end of the year. But I want to reflect on the month that we just had here on YouTube and the month we hope to have going forward. Just talk about the way things were and the way that we hope things will be. Talk about some of these other things I'm doing on the internet as well. So, state of the channel for December and for what we hope in January. But I also want to talk about 2023 and then, of course, 2024 on a more broader scale. So, December 2023 on Seahawks Brendan Nelson was actually great. It was awesome. It was a bounce back month. Obviously, a big reason why is that the Seahawks won some games and saved their season and were able to keep hope alive until basically last night when they kind of made the whole thing meaningless. But it was a little bit of a fun ride there. We actually had a couple games that we won in the final minute. We had things to be happy about. We got exciting stuff from guys like JSN. We got exciting stuff from guys like Boye Mafe. And even though things are not perfect, it was better. There was actually some optimism. There was actually a little bit of like, wait a minute here. Is this team coming alive just in time to save their season? We got to see some of the young guys on this team that are part of this team's future spring to life. We got to see even the little bit players, guys like Mario Edwards get involved. We got to see good things out of guys like Julian Love. Julian Love had a very, very interesting month in December, and it gave the fan base at least something to gnaw on, which we did not have for basically all of November, which is why I said a month ago, like, things are just, people are not interested in this team. Well, December got the people interested again, although I wonder if people regret getting interested after what happened last night, but you can't take it back. So, December on Seahawks Brendan Nelson was awesome, and I want to thank everybody who helped make that possible. Made almost 110 videos during that month, mostly Seahawks stuff. There was some Husky stuff, there was one Mariners video, I think there was one video game video, so you're probably looking at about 100. Yeah, I would say just about 100 Seahawks videos for the month of December. So, hey, they gave us things to discuss. They gave us things to get into. They gave us something to at least kind of give a crap about for a little bit there. And there's something to be said for that. Is it enough? Absolutely not. But it was better than November when things just kind of felt dead and uninspired and uninteresting. So that was a lot. That was fun. We talked a lot about some of the things that the team was doing. We talked a lot about injury stuff. We talked about where to put blame. We talked about coaching, the usual stuff that you talk about when you go through an NFL season. So December was we'll call it an interesting month. I'm not going to call it a good month because we still took some L's and we're still sitting here kind of feeling like that this team just isn't good enough and we're not satisfied. But we did the thing. I did what I could. We balled out. We balled out here on Seahawks Brendan Nelson. Even if the team that we root for didn't, even if the team we root for blew it all up yesterday with not showing up at home against the Steelers, we did what we could. So that stuff was great. The live streams, we did the usual number of live streams, post-game live streams, Hawks Nest live streams, watch-along live streams for Husky games. So that stuff was great. And I'm happy to announce I figured out how to use YouTube Shorts. It took me a long time to really understand the medium, but I've been posting some shorts lately that are doing really well, that people really like. I think I finally figured out YouTube Shorts. I know I shouldn't sound so proud of myself, but I spent a long time looking at YouTube Shorts and just thinking, I don't know how to use these. I don't know what these are supposed to do. I don't know what these are supposed to accomplish. But I figured it out. And people like what I'm posting, and I'm going to keep making them. I'm going to keep making them until I run out of ideas. But the stuff that I'm doing is actually working pretty well. So thank you to everybody who watched my shorts and participated in that. They've been great. You've been great. And they will continue to be released. So that stuff was cool. I set the sub goal really low in December because I thought the Seahawks were going to keep losing. And they were going to be eliminated from the playoffs by mid-December at the latest. So we ended up crushing it because the team actually won games, and because, as I have found out, the YouTube Shorts actually really help with the subs. That's one thing that I've discovered. When you post shorts that people watch, one, they don't have a shelf life. They just kind of keep getting viewed over time, almost ad infinitum. And also, it seems like they continually gain you subs when they get viewed. So we actually crushed it in subs. We got very close to 15,350. I was only expecting to get up to like 15,200. So we ended the year strong with subs. So thank you to everybody who helped out there. And yeah, it ended up being a really good month of December for the Seahawks Brendan Nelson channel here on YouTube. January, if the Seahawks make the playoffs, obviously we're going to have playoff stuff to discuss, but assuming it doesn't happen, and right now it doesn't look good, you got to admit as a Seahawks fan, the odds look a little bit long. Then we're going to swing right into the offseason stuff. We're going to jump right into salary cap stuff, free agency stuff. We're going to get right into what this team needs to do to try to get better next year and have better results. So there's not going to be any real kind of a break. We're not going to stop just because the team doesn't have games to play. I don't know if I'll be covering the playoffs, really. I don't know if I'll be discussing what goes on in the playoffs. I don't really care that much at that point. I'd prefer that my rivals not be the teams that win, but there's also a big part of me that doesn't really even value that much, because it's not like that's going to make me happy, really, compared to the dissatisfaction I feel with the direction of my team. So it's not going to really be playoff stuff if we're not a part of it. But bottom line is there's no breaks. We are not stopping anything just because the off season comes a little bit earlier than we wanted it to. We are not going to stop making videos. There's going to be a ton of stuff to dive into pretty much every single day on the channel. So, to talk about the year that we had, 2023, it wasn't as good as 2022. Let's just be real here. 2022 was a very special year. The Russell Wilson trade, having actual draft capital, a really storyline-driven offseason, and then a much better than expected regular season that culminated in a playoff spot. Like that was something that blew people away. That was something that took everybody by surprise, and people were really into it because it was a happy surprise. It was like, I thought this team was going to win 5 games this year, but here they are contending for a playoff spot, and that got everyone out of their seats, and they were like, wait a minute, I want to pay more attention to this team than I thought I was going to. This year, that didn't happen as much. We did have a very intriguing draft because we had even more draft capital. We made very interesting picks that people felt very strongly about one way or the other. The offseason itself was actually probably more active than the previous one, but you got to the season and it just I don't know if we're overachieving from anyone's expectations, but I get the sense that 95% of my viewers are disappointed. So, straight up, 2023 wasn't quite as engaging as 2022, but there's nothing we can do about that, right? All we can do is watch and hope the team does the right things. When they don't do the right things and they lose, we as people out here on YouTube talking about the team, discussing the team, can't really do anything about it. So we continue to just dominate. We continue to just do awesome stuff here on YouTube. The channel continues to grow. We gained almost 4,000 subscribers in the year of 2023, which I think it was like a little over 5,000 the previous year, but still awesome, awesome channel growth. That's over 10 subscribers a day, which for the size of my channel is great. And for the kind of content I make is also really great. So awesome stuff. Thank you to everybody who made this year so successful. Very excited to see what 2024 holds. Again, a large part of it will depend on what this team does in the offseason and then the level of success they have. If they were to make a big, shocking move in the offseason, be it letting go of a coach or a coordinator or a player, that's obviously going to boost intrigue. But as of right now, I think people are, I think that we're going to be going into 2024 with a partially checked out fan base that just kind of wants to hibernate until something real happens. So I don't know what 2024 holds for us, but as of right now, we've got some work to do if we want to rebuild the intrigue that people had in the team back in 2022. So that's basically everything to say on YouTube. Twitch, it was a pretty fun month on Twitch. We did some Animal Crossing. We got back to Animal Crossing. I think I finished Spider-Man in December, but I might have finished it right before then. I might have finished it in November. Got back to fishing, playing it a little bit. I'm doing a lot of Witcher 2, which is building up to The Witcher 3, which a lot of people have asked for me to do. And we were able to actually make some real headway there. We're actually most of the way through the game at this point, which is great. I've done what else has there been? There's been a couple other things I've done, like I did Max Payne 1 and Max Payne 2 as a tribute to James McCaffrey, who passed away a few weeks ago. So we were able to do a little bit of kind of extracurricular stuff that wasn't on the schedule. So it was a good month on Twitch. Not any huge amount of growth, but people came to the streams, people hung out, people had fun, all that good stuff. In January, what I can say is that we are going to be looking at playing through the backlog. We're going to finish Witcher 2. We're going to keep grinding through Animal Crossing, probably wrap that up at some point in the month of January. And we're probably going to work on something like a Demon Souls or a Returnal, something like that. And we're going to try to clear the deck as much as possible for February, because February is, as of right now, the only intriguing month of video games in 2024. I've already pre-ordered Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I've going to pre-order Persona 3 Reload. There's a couple other things coming out that I may play, like the Dark Forces remaster and maybe the Suicide Squad game. So the Twitch in February is going to be real fire. But until then, we're just going to continue to grind through what we've got. I'm going to continue to have fun. And if people want to come by and watch me play games and have conversation, then that's, it'll always be open. That's what it's for. We got up over 600 followers by the end of the year, which is nice growth. The streams are, generally speaking, continuously growing in terms of the number of people who show up. So I'd say it's a successful year on Twitch. And what else is there to say about the month we just had? We hit 100 followers on Facebook. By the way, once again, if you're on Facebook and you haven't followed me yet over there, please do so. Give me a like, give me a follow. We have an official Facebook page now where most of my videos get posted. And I'm going to make a more official announcement later, but January of 2024 is going to mark my first foray into posting videos on Instagram, and I'm going to start posting my videos on X as well. So we're spreading out a little bit here, also looking to expand to Kick. So that's really about it. in terms of what is on the horizon here. Obviously, 90% of what I put out there is dependent on what the Seahawks do. If we have a really boring off season and we don't make any big signings or big cuts or big firings or hirings, then there's not really going to be much to say except, the team is just going about things business as usual. But I'm going to continue to do everything I can to try out different social media sites. Maybe at some point in 2024, I start posting my stuff over to a place like Rumble as well, just to give myself a backup. But yeah, overall, things are going great. We are doing awesome here on YouTube. I want to once again thank everybody who made it possible for us to have such a good year and such a good month. And we're going to continue to carry it over into 2024. And I'm hoping it comes with a playoff game. I'm hoping this team does make the playoffs. That is what I'm rooting for. And if they don't, I'm going to consider that a disappointment, and I'm going to hold people accountable for it. I know that there are people out there who have gotten they're a little bit over some of my criticisms of the team right now, but it's not going to stop until I feel like things have gotten better. So that's what you can expect if things do not have a massive, unlikely, and improbable turnaround in the next couple of weeks here. But whatever I feel is right to talk about on this platform about this team, I will continue to talk about it. So thank you for December. Thank you for 2023. We're looking ahead to a new month, a new year. I'm going to make an announcement in a couple hours about some of the things that I'm going to be doing different in 2024, and hope to see you guys there. Go Hawks. Disappointed that they couldn't give us a slightly better product this year, but it's the product that we have, and it'll have to do. See you guys later.